How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Mentor Monday. Mentor Monday is your weekly microdose of encouragement, inspiration, and miracle grow on your potential as a coach. Yes, I am being festive tonight. What was funny is that I don't go on Facebook very often. I went on today, and then I saw the memory of this jacket popped up. Now, I know I've worn it before on a Mentor Monday, I don't know how many years ago, but I'm like, you know what? I don't get very many opportunities to dress up and be festive. So I was like, I might as well pull this jacket out and wear it again. So do me a huge favor, jump in to the chat and let us know that you are here. It's a very important. If you guys have ever joined us for a Mentor Monday, you know that we don't do things to waste your time. We're never going to tell you that we're doing something that we're not actually going to do. So Mentor Mondays are always no fluff. So you know what our end game is for Mentor Mondays? It's what our mission statement is at Life Coach Training Institute. It's proficient coaches, thriving practices. So everything that we always do on a Mentor Monday is to help you grow in your skill as a coach, and it's also to help you grow your coaching practice. So do me a huge favor, jump inside the chat and let Facebook and YouTube know that we're doing a good job. You know how you do that? You comment, you like it, and you share it. So if you can take 1 second, get on your mobile device and just hit like. You don't have to say love, just say that you like it. And because we're going to give you great stuff as we always try to do. Let me say hello to a few people. Kathy, who's joining us from Ohio. Good to see you, Kathy. Deanna, who's joining us from Canada. Raj, joining us from California. Americo. Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? Because I've got one more week. I'm going to wear another Christmas jacket next next week. Just because Americo said, wow. I'm like, that's all the affirmation and validation that I needed to do it again. The only problem is that when people watch this video in the future, they're going to know it's like Christmas or something. So hopefully it's not like a turnoff or something like that. Caleb says, very festive and demure. Oh, thank you for the laugh, Caleb. Heather says, love it. Hello from Indiana. Good to see you, Heather. And Simone is joining us from Central Oregon. Again, if you're just making it in, do me a huge favor. Let us know that you are here. Thank you for those funny comments, by the way. Let us know that you are here. Yes, it is almost that time of the year, and it's a countdown. If you guys don't know, you got like 9 days to get your Christmas presents together. If you haven't gotten it together, you got 9 days to do that. Still plenty of time. Maybe not some of the most demanding gifts, but you got like 9 days. And so we're almost there. So maybe this is just kind of like a reminder. Maybe it's a caution, warning. It's like a red light or whatever, you know. But let us know that you are here. Tell us where you're joining us from, what you're excited about, what you feel life and momentum on. Also, do us a huge favor and like this post and share it. It tells Facebook and YouTube that we are doing a good job. All right. Now, I will admit, we just came out of a boot camp weekend and I'm pretty tired. Hopefully, the red kind of distracts from my tired face and my hoarse vocal cords. Um, and I don't know if it actually is or not. There's Steve joining us from Ontario. Tracy, who's saying hello from Dallas, Georgia. Good to see you. Hopefully, it'll take away from the fatigue that I'm feeling because I'll tell you this morning when I got up and I was feeling all the hoarseness and everything else, like, can I do a Mentor Monday after this weekend? And you know what? We somehow pulled it together to be able to do that. Hey, if you guys would keep those comments coming in, those of you tell people if they have not said that they are here, that they can do that. Now, we have been in this series called Mapping the Journey of Your Coaching Clients. So we are in week 5. We spent a few weeks specifically talking about client motivation. And along with this, we are talking about your client's why. And it's really important to get to why. And I'll talk about that reason in just a second. Now, let me say this on the front end. Tonight's going to be a little bit more interactive than what we do. Now, the thing is, what we normally do, and I wish we could make it as interactive every week. Oh, Deanna says my gift is in the mail. Oh, wow. One of the things that I wish we could do really, really well through Facebook and YouTube is have like a real-time interactivity. You're able to do that over Zoom. And so some of what I'm getting ready to do, I've done before with coaches only on a Zoom call. So the thing is, it's going to have like about a 30-second delay in most cases. But what I want you to do is be really aggressive on your little phone or tablet or computer, whatever you're watching us on, because it's really going to benefit you and it's really going to benefit us all greatly uh, if you just interact in that kind of way. You are welcome. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a couple of questions. By the way, because I know that a lot of people don't really understand what's the why and how do you find the why and why is the why important. I'm going to demonstrate to you why the why is important. And here's how we're going to do it. Here's first question. Whoops, it'd help if I turn on my clicker. Oh, by the way, if you want the slides, text slides to, oh, you know what? We haven't actually added them to the website yet. So hold on to that. You're not going to get that instantly, but you will get it later. Text slides to 833-258-7547. We'll get that page changed here in the next 2 hours, and then it'll actually be available. If you're watching this on replay, it probably is available already. So if you could stop one of these three things, if you could stop one of these three things, which one would you choose? Would you choose A, an earthquake killing 40,000 people, B, a plane crash killing 200 people, or C, a car accident killing your best friend? Which one of these would you stop? What I want you to do is jump into the chat right now, really, really quickly. We made it easy, A, B, or C. If you could stop one of these, would you stop an earthquake that kills 40,000 people? B, a plane crash that kills 200 people. And there's no right answer, just so you guys know, there's no right answer that I'm looking for here, okay? So no trick questions. A, an earthquake killing 40,000 people. B, a plane crash killing 200 people. Or C, a car accident that kills your best friend. Which one would you choose? And let's be honest about it, okay? Because it doesn't help anybody. And don't be ashamed of your answer. Just give the gut response. Which one would you stop if you could stop it? A, an earthquake killing 40,000 people. B, a plane crash killing 200 people. Or C, a car accident killing your best friend. Let's be honest, you guys. Let's be honest. See, I'm seeing some A's. I won't call out your names. I see some A's in there, but I also appreciate a C that I see in there, which is car accident killing your best friend. I see some more A's. I see another one that says C. I hope that doesn't make me a bad person. And here's the thing is that there are no right answers on this. What we're talking about is what is your answer to this? If you could stop one, which would you choose? A, an earthquake killing 40,000 people. B, a plane crash killing 200 people. Or C, a car accident killing your best friend. I appreciate what Steven said. C is tempting. Another one says, I have to call my bestie after this because I would want my best friend would want me to pick, what would inform what they would want to pick. So what's actually making the decision here? What's actually making the decision here is not right or wrong. What's making a decision here is what is most important to you, what your values are. And your values are always making decisions for you. And they're very powerful. And they're always making decisions for us. And there's a lot of different reasons why, like you might ask yourself, you don't have to feel bad about it, but you might ask yourself, why would I choose C over saving 40,000 people? Why would I choose C over B? What if the earthquake that killed 40,000 people was in a third world country that you'd never heard of before, but there were 200 people on the plane that were all Americans and you knew maybe one family that was on the plane, would you choose B over A, or would it not matter to you? See, it's not about a right or a wrong answer. It's really about what we value most. And your values actually make decisions for you. Now, we're not done with interactivity because we're going to do a few more questions, okay? See, that was a fun one. See, values are really powerful because they actually make decisions for you. Imagine with your clients, if you know what your values are or you don't know what your values are, then that can actually create a problem for you. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, let's get on to the next question. Next question is, would you gain 50 pounds for 1 year? Now, you can do something about it after a year, but you've got to keep 50 pounds on for 1 year if someone gave you $10,000 to do it. Just give me a yes or a no. You can just put Y or N. Yes or a no. Would you, if somebody gave you $10,000, would you put 50, I said 50,000, 50 pounds on and keep it on for a year? All right, throw it on. Let me see your answers. Really important. I see my first no on there. It's $10,000. Oh, it's tax free, by the way. I see another no. Let's keep going. Oh, Steven is my first yes. But I'm seeing a lot of no's. And in some respects, I'd say for some people, I'm not super surprised, especially amongst women, that I get a lot of no's. Now, I want you to ask yourself, for those of you, Heather and George, I don't know if I'm talking to Heather or George, says yes. Scully says no. America's already bargaining. America's already saying, here's what my price is for 50 pounds. There it is. America's already selling out for a price here. Not 10,000, but I'll go for this. So you have to ask yourself, what is the value? What's important to you? Write that in the comments right now. You said no to 10,000. What's important to you that you would say no to $10,000? That's a lot of money for most people. Tell me why. Throw it in there of why you would say no to $10,000. Scully says that's a lot of weight. And Kathy says, it's not about being a woman. I know how hard it is to get weight off. But tell me what's keeping you, what is your why behind not wanting $10,000? It's only 50 pounds and you could take it off after that. Tell me what your why is. And Kathy says, well, my health is worth more. And America says, my health is worth more than $10,000. Tell me more. Give me a couple of other. Anybody else have another reason? What's your why behind your why right here? Is there a different why? You said my health is valued at more than $10,000. All right. All right. Well, let's change that question then. Deanna says 50 pounds is crazy. Worried it would give me diabetes, which could be really expensive. And Kathy says, I do not like how it feels. Okay. And Scully says, I've had to lose that kind of weight. It makes you feel like crap, and my brain works differently, and I like healthy better. And I gained that much during 3 pregnancies, then lost it. So I know it's something I can easily survive. Plus, I could buy my kids something special. So we're getting a value there. So some of you said, my health, I value it more than the money. But now I've got a mom that says, well, I've done it before and I could lose it. And I value my kids being generosity to my kids more than I do the temporary uncomfortability of that weight. Now, let's go to the next question then. Next question is, would you gain 50 pounds for a year if someone gave you $100,000 to do it? Now, here's the thing. America just a little while ago already gave us that hint. America already told us, well, if it was $100,000, America, is that still true? If someone gave you $100,000, would you put on that 50 pounds? And here's what America says. Yes. He's saying, okay, So, America, a little while ago, your health was not worth $10,000. Are you saying that your health is not worth $100,000? Or is there something that you're thinking that you could do with that 100,000? Tell us what you would do with that 100,000. Tracy says, I'm in. Tracy, tell us. You just made a big decision. When it was $10,000, it wasn't enough. Now it's $100,000. Why does $100,000 change your decision? And Corey says, I think it would cost $10,000 to lose the weight. Raj says, I still value my health more. So, America, I need to know the reason why. And Tracy, I need to know the reason why you made a decision now that $100,000 is in the mix. What influences that decision? Because you were no on 10,000. Why now? What did you see in that 100,000 that could be the change that you would put your health off maybe for a year? And here's what America says: $100,000 to be debt free. What does debt free represent? It may represent less stress. So, you know what we're finding out? Health has a real value for America. But you know what else has a value for America? Is freedom in some sort of a way. Whatever debt free represents is a higher value than health. So, we're learning things about America in this. Um, and Kathy says, it still doesn't make sense to me. I would not sell myself out. And Heather says, yes, that would help with a kiddo heading to college. It is worth it. So what we're finding out what Heather's values are big time. Obviously, family is a big, big value, and being able to see into the future for temporary pain for the future, which is really interesting. Corey says, I would love to have 100,000 to have my health fully evaluated and revamped. And Tracy is saying, I'm making the change because now we found out that her value for helping people, that she would actually endure weight gain for a year, 50 pounds of weight gain in order to help people more. So now we're finding out about the value to help people. Now we got Deanna, who was worried about diabetes a little while ago at 10 grand, and now Deanna is suddenly not fearful of diabetes. Deanna, why don't you fear diabetes anymore? How does $100,000 change things, and what's the value that's actually informing it? And now I got somebody who's now bargaining. I see in here, Scully's trying to bargain for more money. All right, let's get to the next question then. The next question is, would you gain 50 pounds for 1 year if someone gave you $1 million to do it? Are there any of you holdouts that have said no to 10,000? You said no to 100,000. Are there any holdouts who now would say, for $1 million, I would gain 50 pounds for a year? Are there any holdouts so far that are like, okay, that would actually be a game changer? Throw it into the comments really quick. Throw it in there. How many of you hold it? Like, I'm really interested in, like, Kathy has been a holdout so far. Kathy, would $1 million change you? And you would decide, no, I will put on that 50 pounds. And now I got Scully, who is saying, bring on the weight. Corey is saying, no brainer. So what is it, Corey, that you're suddenly like, yeah, for $1 million? Now, what happened with $1 million? $1 million is now changing what your value system was a little while ago, or it's prioritizing your values. And what would it be? So, Kathy, tell us again. Kathy, are you still not in? Um, Steve says, tomorrow is not guaranteed, regardless of how healthy I thought I was, but 10,000, 100,000, or $1 million could really change my family's trajectory in varying degrees. So Steve's like, family is a bigger priority than my health. And Raj says, I will take it. It's a lot of money. And Kathy says, I'm skeptic of people enough to understand why they want to give me $1 million. I don't know. That's interesting question. All right. Next question. The next question is, would you gain 50 pounds for 1 year if you got a lifetime salary and you never had to work again? Anybody down for that? Lifetime salary, you never have to work again, but for 1 year, you got to put on 50 pounds. 50 pounds. Heather's still talking about her kids going to Harvard. Anybody else? Anybody a taker on lifetime salary? You never have to work again. That may actually exceed, that could exceed $1 million. Anybody? All right. Last question. Steve says absolutely. So, what are we finding out about a lifetime salary where you never have to work again? Um, we're finding out what people like in terms of freedom. That could represent a value for I want more time. I'll have more time with my family, and how I might spend that time because we ask the question a little bit differently. It's not just purely money, but you're thinking about, oh, I'm never going to actually have to work again. What would I spend my time doing? It might be with family. It might be doing something of life purpose or whatever. Corey says I could afford a personal chef and to travel first class as I'd need it being so much bigger, as my family needs would be taken care of. Awesome. All right, one more question, you guys, and it's this one. Would you gain 50 pounds for 1 year if it was guaranteed your children would live healthy, successful lives with zero setbacks, disappointments, or tragedies? If you could have that commitment for gaining 50 pounds for 1 year and it was guaranteed, your children would live healthy, successful lives with zero setbacks, no disappointments. So we're talking about no broken hearts. We're talking about no sickness, no disease, no tragedies, no breakups. The person that they fall in love with is actually the love of their life. Nothing ever is going to harm them in the future. And they're just going to live a full life. That means that everything that they want in their life, children, grandchildren, all of that other stuff, that is the kind of trajectory that is expected. Would you gain 50 pounds for 1 year if it was guaranteed that for your children? Americo says absolutely. Heather says 100%. Raj says yes. And Kathy, we finally get Kathy to budge. Kathy would not budge for $10,000, for $100,000, or even $1 million. But you know what Kathy just told us? Kathy just told us that she would sacrifice and endure pain and discomfort and what she did not want if it would guarantee that her children could actually have the full life. And so what we find out is that even though health and money were not objects to her, we actually hit maybe Kathy's primary value in her life, which is her family and some of those things that it actually represents. See how amazing that is? That you can ask just a few questions and you can start uncovering the deeper motivations in people and everything else. And here's the thing, if I can start finding those things, see, the thing is that probably all of us have had success in our life. We've achieved things, we've accomplished a goal. But have you ever had success and have you ever accomplished a goal? Have you ever gotten something that you really, really wanted and then you were like, meh, and you were disappointed because it didn't scratch the itch and it didn't touch that deep part in your heart? Have you ever gotten that job that you were like, that you thought that you wanted, the promotion that you thought that you wanted, the house that you wanted, the thing that you dreamed about for years, and then you spent your money and then you got it in your hands and you're just kind of like, meh, there's nothing worse than that. There's nothing worse than going through all of the process, all of the hard work and everything else, only to come up to this point where you're just kind of like, man, that just did not really fulfill me like I thought that it would. Imagine, though, if you could eliminate that ever happening in your life again. And I really believe that you can. Here's the other thing that we also know about what this, if we can get to the why behind the why, not just the why, we can get to the why behind the why. What we actually find are people's superpower. It is the highest form of motivation that we'll actually find in people. See, why finding your why actually matters. I just kind of demonstrated just in those questions, uncovering the importance of it. Because, first of all, misaligned values always end up with a person in frustration and dissatisfaction. Because when actions don't match values, people feel off, people feel stuck, people feel conflicted. And it's actually very hard for someone to actually make a decision or stick to a decision if it's not actually aligned with what is actually most important to them. And signs of misalignment include, if you see somebody like this, if you find someone who's indecisive, they're like, I don't know what to do. If you've ever found yourself in a predicament where you're like, I don't know what to do, indecisiveness always points to not knowing what's most important. It means that you don't know your why behind your way. It means that you don't know what your values are. Another sign of that is low motivation. When you have people saying, I don't know what the point is. What's the point of this? That whole thing of meaning, which is incredibly important for people. When people don't know what the point is, it's pointing to they don't know the why behind the why. And it's only a matter of time. If somebody is indecisive, they won't make a clear decision and they won't make a decision that lasts. They also will not stay motivated for very long because they don't believe that there's a point in what they're doing. Another clue is frustration. When people say things like, I keep spinning my wheels, but I'm not getting anywhere, this is a person who doesn't know their why behind their why. Now, another reason why finding your why behind your why matters is because values actually drive decisions. We just demonstrated that. And we just demonstrated how Kathy flipped on a decision that she was hardcore about and decisive about. That there could be one thing, there was one thing that could flip her motivation. There was one thing that could flip her decision, and we actually found it. If I could find my core, if I could find my primary value that outweighs every other value, my why that outweighs every other kind of why, then something actually happens. Every choice we make, big ones, small ones, all of them are influenced by our values, whether we're even aware of it or not. And when clients clarify their values, decisions may become easier. They become more intentional. They become more aligned with what truly matters. And here's the other thing that I'd say: values are actually a superpower. That why is a superpower. Imagine a person like Kathy, because she was a great example of this, of that final flip that actually made her make a decisive choice. Because imagine not wanting to do something, going against so much of you, but a value that allows you to stay in the game and endure suffering and endure discomfort and endure difficulty for 1 year because of what promises are on the other side. See, this is how we also get past that instant gratification thing that catches everybody all the time. If you can get people aligned with what matters most, if you can get people aware of what their values are, you tap into a superpower that is beyond any other kind of motivation. It's more motivating than autonomy. It's more motivating than purpose. It's more motivating than, that you're making progress or whatever. If you can get people connected to what is most important to them, they will stay in the game and they'll go through difficulty, because one of the things that's true is that if change was easy, everybody would be doing it. But change is worth it if we are connected with what is actually most important. So, we want to uncover some ways to help people find their values. And let me give you some places to look for values. When were you fulfilled? And this is a great question right here. When in your life have you felt the most fulfilled and satisfied? And here's a follow up to that. What was happening? What was happening? Who were you with? What do you think the value was that was being honored? What was that why that made you feel most fulfilled and satisfied? See, if I can connect people with a time when they were most fulfilled, it's going to start giving me information about them. If they can remember those times and how they felt, who, what were they doing, who were they with, all of those other kinds of things, then it's probably going to start showing us what their value is. So, what we're doing then in reverse engineering the process, then it makes sense that if we do the same kinds of things for the same kinds of people, with the same kinds of people, if we can find out reverse engineering the process, then I already know that this matters to me. And when I do it again, you know what that means? I can be fulfilled again, right? Here's another question of where you can look. What big decisions have you made? So if you reverse engineered a process and think about a big decision you made recently that felt right, what value influenced that choice? So if you made a really, really big decision, think about your biggest life decision that you've made in the last year, the last 5 years. There is a why behind that decision that you made. Think of your biggest purchases. Think of your biggest time investment and everything else. What big decisions have you made? And and there's going to be a value that's behind that that's lurking around. Another place to look for values are what are your priorities? If you could only focus on three things for the rest of your life and no more, only three things, what would those things be? If you can grab a hold of what those things are, priorities, because priorities are, especially if I say you can only focus on three things, it's kind of a process of elimination. You kill all these other things, you check them off, you only are left with three. Those three are going to be connected to what are your biggest whys in your life. Another question. What frustrates you? What's something in your life that feels off or drains your energy? So those things that are painful, that are frustrating, there's something that really matters underneath there. And that's why you're having a mental and emotional reaction to it that's negative. There's a value that's there. What value might be unmet? What value in your life? You can look at your life right now. Where are you frustrated right now? Where are you feeling off? What right now is draining your energy right now? If I can find, if you can tell me what's draining your energy, there's something that you want really, really bad that is not being fulfilled. So that's telling me what somebody's why is. It's telling me what somebody's value is. What are your non negotiables? What are three things that you refuse to compromise on no matter what? And whatever those no compromise areas are in your life is what is going to determine what your values are. When did you experience success? Go back in time. When have you felt the most successful? If you can go to those moments where you actually, because here's a big clue for you, your why and your values is connected to a state of being. It's actually connected to a feeling in a state of being. So, feeling successful, feeling proud is actually connected to something that is actually very important to you. Go back in time to those times when you felt most successful and most proud, and you will uncover a value. You'll uncover a why. What value is at the heart of that experience? Here's a major one. When was the time you made a sacrifice? What's a decision or a sacrifice that you made that when you walk away from it, you say, man, that was really worth it, and you would do it again. Anytime we are able to, at least for a time, put off pleasure and endure pain. That is a really good indicator. Especially pain is probably one of the most powerful indicators. Sacrifice is one of the most powerful indicators to connect you with what your why behind your why is. So if you ever have a client who is unclear about their why behind their why, then we can find out what was the guiding force in the time when you were experiencing the most pain, but you held on in spite of the pain. Another one is what gives you joy. What activities, people, or experiences bring you the most joy? Joy is a great indicator, again, of what is most important. What value did that joy actually reflect in your life? And here's another one. What are you tolerating? When I say that, what's one thing in your life you're tolerating that doesn't align with who you are? Again, this is reflecting pain on the other side. You can have pain of sacrifice that you're just like, dude, I'm enduring this because I see the hope at the end and it's going to be worth it. But there's sometimes that right now we're dealing with a certain level of pain and we've been putting up with it. And pain is a great motivator to do something. And pain, where we're tolerating and it's actually creating this because it's not aligning with something that's most important with us. So if I can connect with what that pain is, it's going to give me a clue. It's going to point directly to what isn't aligning with my values, which of course is going to reflect what are my actual values in this situation. A little bit later, we're going to have these slides available for you. How you get them? Well, you just text slides to 833-258-7547. If you're going to map the journey with your clients, if you're going to help them, this is a great thing that I believe that you can do in the very beginning when you are working with your clients. Because if I can tap into this superpower in the very beginning, then I really believe that client breakthrough is a guarantee if I can get people aligned with what's most important. If I find somebody who's willing to sacrifice for something because now in the forefront they know why they are doing it, game over. There's nothing that someone can't accomplish. For those of you who have not gotten trained and certified as a coach, coming up on January 4th is our one-day Life Coach Certification Training Accelerator. What this is it's curated training, and it's only $195. It is a full 12-hour Saturday training. And it's curated training based on our Life Coach Certification course and boot camp. We've brought it down to a self-paced one day. What's also included besides the 12-hour training is brandable templates, including your onboarding coaching agreements, your welcome pack. It's fully customizable. It's fully editable so that you can make it your own. We also give you a coaching tool starter kit. We give you hundreds of question samples. And you obviously are going to be earning your life coach certification. And yes, we do include a certificate in that. You're also going to get the bonus live Tuesday night training. I know that this is going to be a full day where you have kind of like 15-minute breaks in between these 7 sessions, but we're not leaving you on your own. You can always connect with us on live Tuesdays for Q&As, for practice, and all those things. The 7 sessions are foundations of coaching, the anatomy of a dynamic coaching session, how to help your clients get extraordinary results, how to listen on a transformational level. We do 2 sessions on listening, how to ask powerful questions, and how to establish a growing coaching practice. Again, all of this is also going to include live Tuesday night coach training where you connect with other coaches and you can connect with me and have ongoing support. It's a $3,500 value and the cost is only $195. Also want to give you a fair heads up for some of you who are looking to get your advanced certification, certified professional Christian coach through Masters Academy. Our next cohort is actually going to be Thursday, February 13th. So that's still some weeks away, but I wanted to give you guys a heads up of that date of when that's actually coming. It's 6 weekly live sessions. We also have a Christian coaching community. You're going to earn your advanced CPC certification, and you're also going to have included a guided spirit-led transformational coaching tools. There's over 60 pages worth of tools and questions that are actually part of that particular program. Well, that is it, folks. Thanks for playing along tonight. What I hope you learned something. Sometimes experiential learning, it's actually the best learning because now you guys experience the power of values and experience the power of the why behind the why, even in your own life. And so what I'm going to encourage you to do is make this a part of your starting process, your onboarding process as you're getting new clients, that you come to a place of they understand themselves, they begin to get aligned, but then you also tap into that superpower so that your clients stay motivated, they stay in the game, and that they absolutely get their results. Listen, I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate that from you, Americo and Tracy. You are so welcome. Listen, have a great rest of your week. What we're going to do is that we're going to put this thing on replay. And if you missed part of it, you can come back and you can watch the whole thing. Appreciate you guys so much. Hey, like this post, share it. That'll tell Facebook and YouTube that we did a good job. Have a great one. Take care.